Welcome to my commentary on the Pokemon box video, as I call it. I think when I put on YouTube, I officially call it the Pokemon storage system. Like deep dive into the Pokemon storage system. Which also, by the way, at the very beginning there, that little animation with the sprite edit, I did that myself. I just thought it would be really cool to put something like that at the very beginning of this video. But to be fair, I start this video off with like a collection of all my Pokemon games at the time of making this video. I actually do own a few more now, but I was like, you know what? I don't know how to fucking introduce this. This is the first video on this channel. I need to like do something to be like, hey, I'm a big Pokemon guy. Here's your proof. Also, this part of this video right here, looking back on it now that I've done like more videos, I feel like this part is very basic, and I could have put up a little screen of me messing with the boxes or something. I don't know. I just feel like this part of this video is like really plain. So I kind of want to talk about why this video even exists. Because it's a story. Therefore, this commentary will probably be me talking about why I created the channel and whatnot, just kind of like a behind the scenes of that. If you're interested. Also, this is before I decided to do the borders to be the same as the slides, where my first Sona talks in the background. So it's like really weird because like some of these are just like colored based on the game. It's not uniform. And at first I didn't mind that because I didn't really think about it too much. I was like, oh, it needs to have a border. Just give it like a border based on the game. Like, oh, this Pokemon Red, so the borders are red. But like in reality, it was like, why did I do that? Why did I unify things earlier? Is basically my point. But to be fair, when I was making the Pokemon box video, I only thought about it as this is gonna be maybe the only video I make, and then if I make more, cool. But I didn't future proof this concept yet. I thought about maybe making more videos after this, but I wasn't really too sure if it was gonna be like this kind of video or if I don't know. I didn't really have any like clear plans, so that's probably why I didn't future proof it as much, and that's why it feels kind of dated even. It's also really funny because I use a different font in the slides. I don't know if people noticed that. That's because I forgot what font that was, so I used a different font. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, this works. So, I don't know. It doesn't really matter too much. But from after this video is when I tried to really crack down and, make things way more uniform. So, actually, before I talk about behind the scenes, like why I started this channel, why I made this video, real quickly, this part, the Pokemon box stuff for Gen 2, this part right here where I'm like, oh, we're gonna name the boxes like stupid things. In retrospect, I'm really afraid that when I was saying this, because I put translates here because I do believe in translates. I'm LGBT for fuck's sake. But like after like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be a stupid shit," because I originally planned to make it like really stupid shit, and I put the trans rights thing as like just to put it out there. I'm really afraid that someone's gonna take that as, "Oh, you think trans rights are stupid?" It's like, no, the stuff before it was stupid. I just added trans rights because like it's kind of a meme on, but I also believe in trans rights. But I'm afraid that maybe somebody would take that the wrong way. I don't know. The internet's fucking weird like that, so who knows? Maybe when if I were to make this video again, maybe I wouldn't like. I would still probably put a reference to that, but maybe I would have reworded it better. So, for people who don't know, also before I keep delaying the inevitable, I promise I will stop delaying the inevitable. But I real quickly just want to say that there are people who didn't know about what I'm about to do here with not turning the cursor orange like this, but the fact that it can multi-drag. I actually didn't know that for a while too. When I started to replay Drew Emerald, I found it out by accident, and I was like, I don't know if the game ever tells you that or makes it clear. But I was like, oh wow, did everybody just know this? Because I felt really dumb for not knowing this. And then I made this video, and I had everybody tell me, I didn't know you could do that. I was like, wait, I'm not the stupid one. I discovered this by accident only a few years ago. But yeah. All right, let's finally talk about why I made this video. So for a long time, I've wanted to make like a video essay video like this for a while now. For people who don't know, before this YouTube channel, I mainly just did Let's Play videos, and I have mixed feelings on Let's Play videos. On one hand, I do like the ones I've done, but on the other hand, I always felt like I should do something different. Because at the end of the day, as much as I like doing Let's Play videos for myself, I wanted to make something where I could actually send it to somebody and be like, yo, I made this. With the Let's Play videos, it was really hard to do that because it's like, oh, if I do a game that nobody's interested in, they're not going to want to watch it. Or if they just don't want to get swilled on it. Plus, it's like, oh, okay, you did Let's Play video. That means you have to watch all these other parts to get context or whatnot. Um, I also feels like it discourages people from watching it. So I was kind of tired of that and a few other things. Okay, I need to hold on to that thought real quickly. The emerald thing right there with the wallpaper, I found out that's the reason. To find that out back in the day, it was a Japanese only Nintendo Pokemon Company site where you would put in some information about your game, and then they would give you your codes, and they would make their own wallpapers. Or I think you can make it on the site even. I didn't know that while making this video. I only found that out literally probably a few days after posting this video, and I felt kind of dumb about that. But yeah. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Also, cool that I actually was able to talk about Pokemon Box here. Thanks, Nintendo. Anyways, all right, back to the thought I had before. So I was kind of tired of that, and then the last Let's Play I ended up doing was a World Ends With You Let's Play with a friend of mine. Um, and I like doing Let's Play a lot. I would like to one day go back and finish it because it was a passion project for me personally. And to have one of my best friends involved with it, it meant a lot to me. But he couldn't always record it, and we ended up kind of just delaying it more and more. It's like, to be fair, we're making like a free thing here. It's not like, it's not like a big deal. It's not like I'm making money off this. It's not like he's making money off this. But I was really kind of frustrated because it's like, well, I'd like to actually put stuff out more. And if you're not interested, let's not do it. And sometimes he would be like, I'm interested still, but I'm doing this or blah, blah, blah. But it was always a low priority for him. And then I was kind of debating about just finishing it by myself or just, I don't know what I was going to do with it, honestly. But I decided just, you know what? I want to try making this box video because it's something I've had on my mind for a while. So why did I make a video about the fucking Pokemon story system? It was because of the Heart Gold Soul Silver boxes. I was so annoyed by them. So back in 2019, I completed my Emerald decks and I wanted to transfer the Pokemon upwards to Heart Gold Soul Silver because that was the only completed game save I had at the time. Now I have like Platinum, so it's not that big of a deal. As a matter of fact, I went back and I completed Platinum just so I wouldn't have to deal with the Heart Gold Soul Silver boxes. They were that bad. And I wanted to I made like a Twitter video on it where I was like, oh, look how bad these boxes were. It didn't really get any traction. And I'm not like expecting it to be. Honestly, it's just like a minute Twitter video of me bitching about a system in a Pokemon game that I just didn't like. And it's just really funny because it's like Heart Gold Soul Silver are probably the big fan favorites. I would say they're probably the most popular Pokemon games right now. Maybe Black and White 2 might be a little bit more popular. It might even be on par with them. But definitely Heart Gold Soul Silver are probably the biggest Pokemon games out there. Like if you were to go even buy used copies of the games, they usually go for like hundreds or $200s. It's ridiculous. I'm glad I have my copy of Heart Gold on release. I almost gave that copy away to somebody I used to know so they could do a Let's Play of it. Very glad I didn't do that. I'm very glad Kid Me was smart to be like, you know what? That's a stupid idea. Let's not do that. But yeah, I just wanted to complain about it because everybody is like, oh, these games are so flawless. And I'm like, yeah, but this kind of sucks ass. Like, it sucks so much ass. And I was like, how do I do a video essay kind of thing on why this sucks so much ass? And I was thinking to myself, well, if I were to do that, how would I talk about it? Because I could just talk about that and why it sucks ass, but then that video would be really short, and I don't know how many people would watch a 1 minute or 2 minute video where like, wow, the Heart Gold Soul Silver box system is terrible. Here's why. So I thought about it more and more, and I was like, wait, what if I like actually looked at all the Pokemon games and be like, hey, these all have different box systems, right? Let's talk about what's different between each one of them and why one box system works and why one doesn't, and then kind of just see how the whole thing evolves throughout the generations. I thought that would be an interesting video, except I didn't work on that for I don't know how long. It took me a while to actually get around to making that video. I made the channel first. I made this channel in April 22nd. Was it April 22nd? I'm looking this up right now. I don't fully remember. It was sometime in April. It was April 11th. Okay, so I was off by 11 days. But I made this channel, and I was wondering, am I actually gonna upload here? Because if you notice, like the channel was created in April 11th, but there wasn't an upload here until a few months later in what was it, June? Yeah, June 16th. That's when I finally uploaded the Pokemon box video. That's when it was done. That's when I was like, I'm gonna release this thing, and I still can't believe I released this because like this video took me over. Hmm, I don't know if it was 2 months. I want to say it was three because I know for a fact I created the channel while the video was ongoing, so it wasn't like I didn't make the channel first and then make the video. I made the video and then I decided to make the channel alongside the video. And you're probably wondering like why I didn't upload this on my old channel, which has more subscribers to this channel and whatnot. Well, there's a few different reasons for that. One of the big reasons is organization sake, because I thought think about it this way: you're watching this video, you get done watching this video, YouTube is going to recommend you my other videos on that channel, right? Do you really want it to recommend you like a let's play video that has nothing to do with this, or maybe a gaming video that's a guide video that has nothing to do with this? Also, before I go any further, sorry to introduce myself, but this part I like that part. I don't know. Some people were telling me that my enunciation of that part is really bad. And I'm just like, I thought that part was funny. I don't know. Maybe it's not that funny. But anyways, going back to the thing before. I know how YouTube works in that way. And I thought it would be very awkward to be like, oh, I want to watch more of this guy's videos. What else does he do? Oh, he does Let's Plays. I don't care about that. I'm here for this. So I figured, you know what, if I'm going to do more videos like this, I'll just keep them all on this channel, and then it's all organized. Plus, I don't really plan on doing much with my old gameplay channel. It's weird. I'm calling it my gameplay channel when it used to be my main channel. My main channel I started in 2010 is now like just a gameplay channel to me, which feels really cold, I guess. But it's also like, I feel like I'm moving in a different direction in my life now, and I'm moving on. And I figured this channel is like a good direction for that. And I had a lot of fun making this video. I still can't believe it came out, but I had a lot of fun with it. And it was cool to make this. Also, some other reasons why I made this its own, like I put this on its own separate channel. I know YouTube wise, it's probably better for the analytics. I remember reading somewhere, I don't remember what, because I remember watching videos on like YouTube analytics and shit from, I think Stephen George put out a video where he talks about his analytics with his channel, and then he kind of goes into like a thing like, oh, this is why we're changing up our channel. One of the things they mentioned was like how YouTube does like, I forget exactly what, so I don't really want to just talk about it too much. But essentially, it would be better for me to make a new channel for just this stuff, so if people are watching this stuff, it will get like out there easier because it's like, oh, people are actually watching all these videos as opposed to you made a let's play video that has like no views, and it's like it's harder for YouTube to recommend my channel for because of the view differences and whatnot. I forget exactly what, and I don't want to just talk about it too much because I haven't done my research on it. I did it at one point, but I don't remember it. And then the other reason why I made a new channel is because I just wanted a fresh start, honestly. I could have just put this up on my old channel, like I said, it has more subscribers, but it just felt nice to just have a new channel just for this. And it's a little weird now because I own 3 YouTube channels. Well, I guess I technically own 4, because, no, I don't technically own 4. I do own 4 channels, but that 4th channel will never get used. It was a collab channel I made with my old IRL friends back in the day for Let's Play stuff, and that channel is just dead in the water. I don't think it'll ever come back. It was just more like a relic of its time kind of deal. But yeah, it does feel weird that I own 3 YouTube channels now. Also, this part of the video, this is the reason why I made this video for this part in particular. Um, that was God, I still can't get over how awkward and clunky this feels. I don't know if I expressed that enough in this video. Like, I'll forget that these are so bad, and I'll go back to play Heart Gold, and I'm like, oh, I want to get a Pokemon on my PC, and then I'll remember, oh, this exists, and this is awkward. God. Also, another thing about this video is that apparently, I looked this up afterwards. Oh, I hit my mic stand. At least I only do this once in this video so far, I hope. I'm sorry that in the previous commentary one I hit it multiple times. It's because I don't know why I like to move my hands when I talk, and my mic is just situated in a way where I'll hit it. It doesn't happen normally when I'm doing like the voiceover for these videos because I only do like, usually I'll do like one line or a few sentences at a time, and then I'll listen back to them and I'll be like, oh, I like this take, but I don't like that it has a mouth noise in it, or I do like this take, but it does have an out. Like basically, I'll listen to my takes back. I'll see which ones do I like, which ones I don't like. I get rid of it. I adjust it. With this video, I don't know how often I did that, but I know in future videos after this, I really take that into account. I try to enunciate more. I know a lot of people get on me for that. I think this video is probably the first time where I got criticism for that. But to be fair, I've never made a video like this before. So I'm trying to be better about enunciating and trying to sound out things better. But I don't know, it's just the way I talk. I think to a degree, I can try to change that, but there's also another degree where it's like, this is just how I sound. This is just how I talk. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like weird criticism because it's like I try to address it, but there's only so much I can do about it, and maybe as the videos will go on, I will get better, but I don't know. Anyways, the research thing. I found out after making this video that Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 actually they have like boxes kinda, but I couldn't really find out too much about them, and I don't have any way to record Stadium 1 and 2, so I never included them in the videos because I just didn't think about it. So, yeah. I'm surprised nobody commented on that. I'm very glad. That's honestly one of my biggest fears about making one of these videos is that I don't include something or I get something factually wrong. I try to make sure that's not the case. Like, I'll do research to make sure, like, oh, I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about, or, I'll review stuff to make sure. But I know it's a big fear of mine. I know eventually it's just gonna happen because people make mistakes. It's not like, something I can fully avoid. I can try. I can be pretty good about it, but, yeah. That is just a thing I'm gonna be thinking about when I make these videos. Also, really funny, that battle right there, where I'm fighting myself because I'm doing my own connection thing there. It actually disconnected immediately because I was connecting it to a 3DS to a DS, and because it was through infrared and the cartridges are like, looking at facing each other because the 3DS is just weird like that. It disconnected like immediately. I didn't even get a turn in. I thought that was really funny. Also, this was another roadblock with this video, this part with the 3DS footage. So, I can't believe I'm saying this, and no, I'm not that I'm saying this, but I can't believe that I own a 3DS capture board now. I wanted one for years, but I needed one for this video, but I didn't have one. I didn't get a 3DS capture board until the Pokemon Berry video, which is still crazy for me to say that. Also, real quick, this footage is from my Let's Play of Pokemon Black. I thought that was kind of funny that I got to put my Let's Play video in here in some way. I don't know why it's cropped awkwardly, where you can see like the top part is cropped weird. Maybe only I can notice it. You can see like a blatant blue line of pixels that should not be there. But anyways, I didn't own a 3DS capture board until the Berry video, which, to be fair, how I got that capture board, is a story for the Berry video. It's not a story for this video. But I needed footage of Pokemon X and Y, and I needed footage of Pokemon Sun and Moon. You know, I needed that. But I was like, how am I going to get that? So back in the Let's Play days, I did know people who did own 3DS Cash Report. That were able to get them. I wanted my own for the longest time. I bought a Hatsu Hitty board, a 2DS board. Still own it. Doesn't fucking work. Never worked. I sent it back to them 3 times. I think it was the waste. Like, that was the biggest waste of like $400, $300 ever spent in my life, and I think I regret it to this day. It's just so garbage. It still works as a 2DS, but it's just terrible. So you're probably wondering how I got this footage then, because like I said, I knew people back in the day, but I knew less and less people because as the years went by, people stopped Let's Playing as much. Honestly, that whole thing feels really weird to think about. Like, there's just an era of my life where Let's Playing meant a lot to me. I knew a lot of people who did Let's Plays, and then eventually it kind of just dwindled more and more, and then eventually I just basically became part of like the furry scene for the most part. And then I don't know where I am now. I'm just in a weird spot. So, one of the people I did know in the Let's Play scene, and I don't know him that well, to be fair. I like him, and I wouldn't mind talking to him more, maybe. I do try to reach out when I can. A friend of mine, I guess we're friends. It's like I'm weird. It's not like I don't want to see we're mutuals, because that seems rude. But I also don't know if we're friends, because it's like I don't talk to him that much. I don't know about him that much. But Sephiroth 1204, I knew he had a 3DS capture board. So I decided to reach out and be like, hey, could you record this footage for me? And honestly, I was expecting to get nothing back. It was a shot in the dark. It was somebody I am Twitter mutuals with, but I don't really know that well or talk to that well. Also, this part jump scared people. I thought that was really funny. That's probably the loudest bit I've ever done in one of these videos. Also, I just made this video to be like a shitpost video, so I felt like there was a lot more jokes in this video, or it was me trying to be intentionally funny, even if it was educational. So that's why like shit like that exists in this video, compared to like the Game Corner video right after it, which feels way more educational than this. Which is really funny to say that when this video taught a lot of people different stuff. But anyways, when I messaged Dobie, and I'm sorry off track a lot, I'm trying to tell a consistent like story here. But at the same time, I'll see something that pops up in the video where I'm like, oh, I need to address this real quick before, it's in the past. But anyways, I messaged Dobie. I didn't expect anything back. I got him to instantly message me back, and he got me the footage pretty quickly too. What was it immediately after I messaged him back? Because I just messaged him at first, be like, hey, I'm doing a video. It's about Pokemon boxes. Could you get some 3DS footage for me? Because I really need it. He messaged me back within less than a day, and he was like, yeah, sure, just let me know when you do it. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was doing the video. It took me a long time, and then like a few months later, I'm like, hey, remember that thing I asked you about? Could you still do it? And he did, and he sent me a Google Drive link of all of his footage, and yeah, it worked out pretty well. He got me everything I needed. I think the only thing that was a little weird that, looking back on this, I kind of wish I got better footage of, it was the X and Y thing where I mentioned, oh, you can't transfer Pokemon from Gen 7 that were put into Gen 7 at all back into X and Y. And I did show that technically, but the footage he had was for literal Gen 7 Pokemon. But it was all I had from when I skimmed through the footage, so I was like, you know what? That works. I also feel bad for you, Dobie. I know you had to unlock this feature right here. The EV thing, the IB thing right there. I feel really bad because like Dobie's like, yeah, I don't actually have that unlocked in any of my Gen 7 games. So it's like, I do, and I didn't know how to unlock it, but he looked it up and he did it for me. I cannot stress this enough. I appreciate the shit out of Dobie for this. He is a wonderful fucking person to work with. He's just a great guy, and I don't know where the fuck this video would be without him. And it's really weird because I try not to rely on other people for footage. And I try not to rely on other people too much on these videos. I try to just do everything myself. But this video, even though it was all, for the most part, on me, this part wouldn't be possible without Dobie. I even thought about making this a split thing where it's like, oh, I'll talk about Gens 1 through 5 because I get footage of that stuff because I own a DS capture board. But I'll do the Gen 6 through 8 stuff later in its own video. But I'm like, no, nobody is going to watch a video just for Gen 6 and Gen 7 and Gen 8 for Pokemon boxes. You either do it all in one video like this, or you don't do it at all. So, yeah, that's what I ended up doing. And I'm very thankful that he got me that footage. Also, Let's Go. I forgot. I almost didn't talk about Let's Go in this video, and that's why I made the joke where I'm like, ha ha ha, this game exists. And I thought that would be kind of funny. Like, just to make it sound like, oh, you know, just Sun and Moon. But how many other people slept on these games? I kind of did. A friend of mine got it for me as a gift. But he's like, you want this? You know, I don't mind getting it for you. We can kind of play together. Like, sure. And then I slowly played through it. It's still a fun game. It bores the shit out of me, though, and I don't know a lot of the Pokemon Go terms in it because I dropped off of Go after the Kanto stuff. I'll occasionally pick it up and, like, catch a few Pokemon, but, like, I'm not a Pokemon Go guy. I was just surprised that game was still a thing. I'm still surprised that people play it as often as it's played. I thought it would be dead by now, because I felt like Pokemon Go had its highest, like, you know, audience at the very beginning, when it was still like a novelty that nobody's ever seen before, but now it's kind of like, it's a thing, I guess. But yeah, I almost didn't talk about this, and I figured, you know what, I need to talk about, because there are features in this that I thought Sword and Shield added. Like the, how you can access your party whenever, like your boxes whenever. But no, Sword and Shield didn't add that, this game did. So I was like, I gotta talk about it, that's the case. And it's really weird because I don't know if this is a mainline game or not. Because from what I understand, it's a spin-off that can connect to the mainline games, but it's not like actually a mainline Pokemon game, right? Is it? I don't know. Then again, Pokemon considers Legends Arceus to be a mainline game, and that definitely feels like a spin-off in a lot of different ways. Even if Scarlet and Violet comes out, it's very close to it. I still think that Legends Arceus just feels like its own, you know, spin-off kind of game. I really hope they do another one of those kind of games, though. I would love a Legends game where you're going back in Unova's past and you get to see, like, you know, the full dragon. Because you know how, like, the two dragons are, like, split up and you get Zekrom, Reshiram, and then, what is it? The third one. I forget its name. Oh, it's escaping me. But you know how that one's the shell, and it's like, you know, they connect. It's like, I'm looking that up. It's bugging the hell out of me. Also, this part of the video, I really did struggle. I tried to find something to talk about, and to be fair, that thing I mentioned there, where I was like, oh, you can pick it up and you know, you swap your boxes. That is a true fact, but I think they dropped that in Gen 6 and Gen 7, and they added it back in Sword and Shield. I don't think Gen 5 dropped it at all. I think that was a mistake I made. But I'm not too sure. Oh, it's Kyurem. Kyurem's the third one. I don't know why I forgot that. I feel kind of dumb that I forgot that. I'm a big Pokemon guy. I shouldn't forget these things. Then again, I don't play much of, like, modern Pokemon, and I feel like anything after Gen 5, I just don't remember names for. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not like, my Pokemon is my whole life. It still means a lot to me, but like, I'm not like, oh, I need to know the name of every fucking Pokemon in existence, you know? And here I am talking about it home. I don't know if I should have talked about the mobile version of Home. There were like a few times where I was thinking I might have to. But like, for the most part, all the stuff I want to talk about with Home was going to be in the Switch app and not on the phone app. Because the phone app has like GTS, has Wonder Trade, has all this other stuff. It doesn't have the box system. So I was like, this is what I want to talk about. You know, the box system. Not all that other stuff. You know? I think it was also really funny. I had a friend, speaking of Pokemon Go, I had another friend who was like, why did you talk about Pokemon Go? It's technically got boxes, and boxes you gotta pay for. I don't know, it's not a mainline series game. Technically, it's its own spin-off. That's the main reason why I didn't talk about it. Also, just because I don't play Go, I don't think about Go. I probably should have talked about Go if I really wanted to. If I were to remake this video, I probably would have a blurb about going here somewhere. Just like how I would have a blurb for the stadium stuff too. I don't know what else to talk about with this video, funnily enough. I thought I was going to have a lot more to say. And I did near, the beginning, because I was like talking about how this video came to be, why this channel came to be. I talked about like how I got the 3DS footage and whatnot. But like, now that we're near like the end, I don't know, I'm running out of steam here. I figured I genuinely figured I'd have more to say, but it is what it is. It's just me going through homes, showing off the stuff at home. Also, I feel like this section goes a little too fast. Not that it's this part. It was the part earlier where I'm just kind of going through menus, and it's like, I don't know if that. I wonder if that section went through fast. I don't know. It's like, what am I gonna get? How am I gonna get interesting footage of Pokemon Home? This also is like the best box system still. I just wish it wasn't like Pokemon were trapped in there for $3 a month. They really should just have like a stadium like thing where it's like it's very graphically dumbed down, but you can at least still battle with them or something. I don't know. Also, okay, so you're probably wondering, why is the Coliseum and XD stuff at the very ass end of this video? One, I was like, should I cover this? And then by the time I was thinking about covering this, the Gen 3 section was like very buried and it already had all its edits. I did not want to move my timeline around a lot because I was afraid that if I did, it would fuck up my edits for my little what do you call it? My rant Sona, I guess. I was afraid it would fuck up that or any other cropping I did earlier in the video. So I was like, what? So I'll just put it at the very end. I'll just call it like a little bonus thing just for the hell of it. But there's really not much to talk about. It's just that Coliseum's got 3 boxes. This game has 8. You can catch more than one Pokemon in this game. In Coliseum, you can technically fill up all 3 of those boxes, which I didn't think about, because if you get, like, Nincada, and you evolve it, that's 2 more Pokemon and you can add in there. And then from there, you can fill up the Coliseum boxes. I didn't think about that, or really know about that until afterwards. I also like that people like my little, but Gen 9's out bit. I thought that was funny. I don't know if I'll ever get comments like that on this video, but I like to believe that, like, in a weird way, I future-proofed this video because people are like, but why didn't you cover that Gen 9's boxes do all this stuff and have other cool things? And I'm like, because I made this before. Well, Gen 9 was announced when I made this, but way before it was out. And I'm not gonna wait until Scarlet and Violet come out to make this video. Hell fucking no. That would be like way too long. I wanted this video to just come out and just exist. If I waited that long, it would be at the point like, why bother? So yeah, this is my first end slate. I don't have the little animation of them, kind of the little set, the credits like bob in and bob out. I wasn't really too sure what to do for the screen. Like when I made this screen in paint.net because I'm cheap as fuck and I have cheat.net, which is not really a great. It's like really bootleg Photoshop. It's not. Well, bootleg Photoshop implies it would be Photoshop, but it's just a really shitty Photoshop. And that's where I do a lot of my editing in for when it comes to graphics editing, because I don't have Photoshop because I'm not going to pay for it. And I don't really know of any other good like Photoshop-like stuff. So paint.net works for me, gets the job done, blah, blah, blah. So I made that in there. Later, this would become a lot better, more streamlined, but for this one, it's just kind of like whatever. It exists. I put a little icon of the people. I say what they provided. Hey Fizzy J does the avatars. It was really funny because I needed the avatar for a different project, which I won't talk about too much in this because I plan on actually releasing that at one point. And that would have been the first video on this channel, but it never didn't come out yet because I didn't make it yet. I made this first, which honestly was the better move. But when I was like putting that out there on Twitter, Fizzy J is a friend of mine. He's like, yo, I can actually do this for you. And I commissioned him for it. And he made all of my little red soda guys. And I need more of them. And the thing that he did, which I didn't ask him to do, but I appreciate it more in the long run, he made alts of every single red soda, like little avatar emote thing. He made alts without the sunglasses on. which is really cool. And I didn't ask him to do that; he just did it, and I appreciate it in the long run because I don't know if I'll ever use it. I thought about maybe just kind of like using those ones, like just to see if anyone will notice them. I'll just randomly plop them in there. Somebody even was like, I forget who it was, but a friend of mine's like, you should get like a signing all of one of the talking emotes and see if anybody like just put it somewhere as like an Easter egg and see if anybody notices. And I was like, maybe, I don't know. That seems like a lot of work, and I don't know how I'd hide it to the point where it would be like a proper like Easter egg that you could spot, and not a lot of people would spot. I don't know. We'll think about it. And I think Dobie here, because Dobie got me the footage. Parse Noir did the scribble tuber, which you see at the end there. They did that. And then, which I don't really use too much in the videos. I only really use it in the end slate just so there's something there. And I also use it on the background of the slides because I thought that made it look kind of funny. I don't know, it looked kind of cool to have it like that. And then I also think Strex, because without Strex, I probably would have. Well, I think I would have eventually went down this path, but they helped me out a lot to go down this path. They did offer me a lot of advice about making video essay stuff in the past, and while they never really helped me make anything in particular, that still is true. I just really appreciate what little they have done for me. I just appreciate their support. I wanted to just thank them in some way. There I am. I did in this video. So yeah, that's the commentary for the Pokemon box video. I hope you enjoy. I don't know when this video is coming out. I plan on releasing this on Patreon first, and then maybe a few months down the line I'll release it publicly. I think that's fair because I don't want to like lock anything behind Patreon, but I feel like this is a really good behind the scenes thing for Patreon. Like maybe this will be like, oh, I kind of want to know this, so I'll sign up for Patreon. Because at the end of the day, I would like to start to make money off these videos. It's not the goal. At times I feel like I want it to be the goal, and it feels kind of shitty to make it the goal. But at the end of the day, I have bills to pay and whatnot. I need to keep food on the table, and I'm going to be working a job now, but that cuts into making the videos, and I'd rather make videos for a living than this. So it's like a weird situation of, I don't want to do these for money, but if I want to do more of them, I probably should do them for money, so I can actually like make the quality better and whatnot, and not have to worry about how I'm going to get paid. But for now, I'm not expecting money. I did make the Patreon though, because I made that Patreon a long time ago because I knew that in the future, if I wanted to make a Patreon, I would do it while they have their. Because it's really dumb, because if you made a Patreon before a certain date, they would give you more money. You get like more cut of the money as opposed to people now, which is stupid. So I made a Patreon for that reason. Like I activated it and whatnot, just to be like, oh, I'm not making anything, but in the future, just in case if I do ever make something, like maybe like a comic or maybe a video or anything where I would want to have a Patreon for and get like, support for, there it is. It's already made, it's already done. I don't have to worry about the bigger cut. So I did advertise in the video, and I honestly, I didn't expect to get anybody. I have a friend of mine, Damien, who is like giving me some of his money for that, which is cool, and I appreciate that. And so far, he's the only Patreon supporter I got, and I'm not expecting more anytime soon. And honestly, and if people don't give me more, that's fine. That means the videos will come out slower. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm doing these because they're fun to talk about. It's fun to make videos like this where I'm bitching about one thing in particular, but I make a whole video to give you context of why I'm bitching about this one part. So I'm excited to see what I do from here. I have a few other ideas that aren't just deep dive videos. I still want to do more of these and then, do them for other game series, but there's like a few kind of reviews I'd like to do. I'd like to also do a proper video essay at one point. I just actually examine something, make like an hour-long video essay on something. I was thinking maybe if I were to do something like that, maybe Final Fantasy 13. I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, you've been staring at a black screen for this long. I might as well just, wind it off here. Because, like, what else is there to say? I'll just be rambling at this point. So, thank you so much for watching this if you did. I appreciate it. And I'll see you later. Bye!